So now I'm going to show you the stereo input mix, or a source that you would get to play music or have some other pad that maybe one of the band members want to have from an iPad, or just any type of source coming in. Now, this is a really nice cable that I got on Amazon, and it's a simple cable, but it has a 1/4 inch and it also has to 3.5. That's how the cable comes. If you notice, I got a zip tie here with tape on it to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere, because things tend to get lost when you're doing any type of mobile work. So this, if you'll notice, has a TRS. They call it TRS, and it's got 3 sections to it, meaning it's a stereo cable, which means that the really nice part about the QSC Touchmix is it has stereo inputs on one plug. So if I plug this in here and I use the aux stereo inputs, not aux, but stereo inputs 17 through 20, it's great. I've got all these different things that I can do, but right now I'm just going to show you the input 17 and 18, 19 and 20 are the ones you'll be interested with. You've also got a headset place, and there's just so many connections that are just wonderful with this unit. Anyway, so I can take this and plug it into an adapter that I have. That's why that adapter is there. And you can plug this into any iPhone, iPad, any source that has this Thunderbolt connector. And the 3.5 can go in an Android or whatever you have as a source that has 3.5. Makes it really nice for the band. It's like 6 or 8 feet. I think it's almost 8 feet. So if this whole box is sitting by the stage, you just undo this and give it to them and they're ready to go. And you can also mix that into their monitor so they can hear it also, and they can hear the levels of it. Now I'm going to go in and show you where you adjust that and how you adjust that on the actual iPad itself. And I'm going to do a little moving around here real quick. And I have the reflection down so it's not reflecting like it was before, which was really kind of a pain. Okay. There we go. Now you can see the entire iPad. And I will show you what to do with it. So the iPad shows you, if I'm going to go home right now on the menu and then home, and that shows you your main mix when you go home. Inputs 1 through 8, 9 through 16, and then this is the stereo pad plug that I showed you that were 17, 18, 19, and 20. So these are your 4 inputs, which are really nice stereo inputs. So you can control them. If you notice that I have these 2 muted out, which is 17 and 18. You can also mute everything out in that area, so you don't make the mistake of plugging something in and having it go over the mains. So you'll notice that I've gone past 1 through 8, 9 through 16, and then it gives me these stereo inputs. So once I've got those and I've got the pad on, I usually have the source sitting at about half volume. That's usually a pretty good place for that. And then I can crank them up or bring them back. I can also do all kinds of other things like EQ and what have you, and that's all done within the button of each channel. Okay, so let's not get too complicated with this. I want to keep this real simple for the new users so they're not overwhelmed. I'm also going to show you one other thing, and that is the trims. The trims on this are kind of critical because they depict what headroom you're going to have on your iPad or your inputs. If you notice, some of these trims are a little bit different. And we're just getting used to them because they have their place. Like some of the microphones aren't as sensitive as the others, so we turn the trims up a little bit more so we have a little bit more headroom in the end to deal with. You know, the 16's up a little bit. We're not using 8. So we're just using the first 5 or 6 channels, which is typical of a small band or small worship band, what have you. So now I'm going to show you what I did to simplify this. I'm going to back out a little bit so you can see this. I said, you know what? I do not want a long snake in here. It's just one more thing that we have to pack and unpack. So I've actually went and custom made a cable from ProAudioLA.com. These guys online, you can order any kind of cable that you want. And when you really think about it, the cabling is really important, and how well it's made and how it's going to last. You can get live wire XLR cables, that'd be fine. But what I wanted to do was have a single cable, almost like a snake, where I would have 2 connections. So the Touchmix sits on the stage, which means that we need to bring a source to us so we can control the zoom and also the live stream, which I haven't really told you much about. Another thing is really nice is you can buy these long zip tie, not zip ties, but ties that are just the best. And they're on Amazon. You can buy a roll for, gosh, $8 or something like that. These are really nice. They're Velcro. So next thing that I want you to do is look at how, first of all, the box down here, I have these labeled. And if I take one out, you'll see it's actually labeled Zoom aux 2. And I'm going to plug it into Zoom aux 2. Anything in the back here is called a send. You're sending them someplace else. You're sending a source someplace else from the Touchmix. And people, I didn't know what a send is for a long time. So you're going to be ahead of the game knowing that. So from that send, we're taking a source and we take the zoom, and we're doing a monaural channel. We're not doing stereo, so it doesn't matter what side you put in. So if you notice, this says zoom from aux 2. Now zoom from aux 2. And with my zoom, I've also labeled from mixer aux 2. I mean, you can't screw this up. And this is what you need to do so you're not just fumbling with it, and somebody maybe just that doesn't know enough about it can kind of catch up and get up to speed fairly quick with your setup. And then I have another one here that's called streaming media, and that's aux 1, and that says aux 1 here, and it also says from mixer aux 1. You can't read that, but trust me, that's what it says. So I've got notes over everything. So I've got this short little board that really does everything, and this sits on the media table. I got a 50-foot, I'm going to call it a snake for better reasons, and I got one cable so nobody trips over multiple cables. It's really kind of nice. You could do 3 of these, and when they come, they're really nice. They're labeled 1 and 2, so you got 1 and 2 on the other side, but that doesn't mean enough to the average person. They want to know where to plug it in. So I've labeled the aux 1 stream, the aux 2 zoom, and the aux 3 monitor. And I don't have the monitor plugged in because that's a longer cable, and they're going to take that and bring that over and put that into the monitor. But at least they know where it's going to go. And I believe that's it for today. This is a Swiss Army knife. We're out. Thanks a lot, and I hope this really helped you out a lot.